there in radio and podcast land. Welcome to The Ordinary Effect. I'm your host, Guido Piraino. Here to tell you that it snowed outside. It snowed a fair bit, fairly early on here in November, near about 20 centimeters, or for our non-centimeter friends, about almost 8 inches, I think. And so with the advent of snowfall of this magnitude, a certain panic sets in for some people. There are the some people who perhaps are in denial that winter is coming, or perhaps they're just usually unprepared, or just prefer to live on the edge with most of their decision making. I don't know. Could be a number of other reasons, I suppose. But that panic that I'm talking about is the proverbial snow tire, the winter tire. I need winter tires, and I waited until the first big snowstorm to figure out that I need winter tires. And why this is a topic for me is because I had a set of winter rims that are still great condition, but I didn't have a use for. And on these winter rims are a set of all-season tires. And so I thought that it would be easy to create an advertisement on Marketplace or one of these online selling places and say, in bold letters, 15-inch winter rims for sale, something like that. But the key here is winter rims. That's what the title says, winter rims. Now, on these winter rims happens to be, like I said, these all-season tires. I'm not going to remove the all-season tires to sell the winter steel rims. They're on the rims, so I'm not going to incur costs to remove tires just so that I could show a rim. But I took pictures, and I made an advertisement, and I put the advertisement online, and it says winter rims. So, also in the advertisement, I put information like the size of the tire, so that people have an understanding of what's sitting on there, what they could put on there. I also put a link to bolt patterns for the rim. So that will help you if you're not sure if your car can use that rim. So you basically go to the link, you put in the make, model, and year of your car, and it says to you, hey, here's the bolt pattern. And then you can compare to the bolt pattern of the rims that I've posted for sale. All right. So very key. Now, I have this full explanation over and over in the beginning of the advertisement. It says, these are steel winter rims. There's all season tires on them, but the rims are what I'm selling here. In the 2 days of our snowfall, I have probably received, I think, maybe 500 messages. And the messages are fairly standard in terms of what people are asking. And I think the first one that bothers me is, hey, hi, are these still available? Now, this question underlies probably the whole point of what I'm going to make here. And the base and the foundation of everything that's happened in these messages is that I believe there's a lot of lazy people out there. There's a lot of people who don't want to fend for themselves. There's a lot of people who want fast answers and other people to do things for them without taking their own initiative or responsibility. Okay? Now, I understand why you want to ask, are these available? Because at some point, a lot of people put up advertisements and sold a product and did not remove the advertisement. And so what's happened is it's created a culture of doubt. And that initial laziness now makes other people say, I see the advertisement, I think I want what's in the advertisement, but I don't believe that the product is still available. So I'm going to take this initial step of asking, is this still available? Now, in my advertisement, it says, if you see this advertisement, the product is still available. But every single one of the messages started with, are these available? Sorry, except for two. And those are unique. Those are two people that said, I'm coming to get them, without asking are they available, or more importantly, knowing where exactly they're going to go pick them up. So 99% are they available. So, and the underlying message here is laziness. Now, one of the next questions usually is, well, what size are these? In the heading of the advertisement, it says 15-inch winter rims on all-season tires. 15-inch winter rims. 15-inch. That's what size they are. So then I think, did they read the title? The very first thing in everything that they might be interested in? And when I was talking about this at home, and when I told the kids, they said, they're not reading the title. They're not reading the title, Dad. They're looking at the picture. And I'm thinking, okay, but there's a title above the picture, right? What size are they? The next question, will they fit my car? And then they proceed to tell me the type of car they have. Will they fit my car? I don't know if they'll fit your car. You know what you could do? You could read the advertisement, and you could click on the bolt link pattern, and then you could plug in the year, make, model of your car, and it'll tell you what that is, and you can compare it to what size these rims are and what bolt pattern these rims are. So then you'll have the answer of, will they fit my car? I think a couple of people were like, well, can you do it? Here's my model. Can you do it for me? No, I'm not going to do it for you. I'm not going to be responsible for saying, yeah, they're going to fit your car and maybe you gave me the wrong information. You have the tools at your fingertips. You can fish and feed yourself. Go fish and feed yourself, right? All right. The next one typically starts off with, after, are they available? Yes, they're available. Can you send me your address? No, I'm not going to send you my address. Are you buying them? Have we settled on a price? Are they what you really want? Once we do those things, then you can have an address. Why would I send you an address without negotiating any of those other things? So one of the ads I learned, and I said, well, I'm in this city in this area. And then the next question after that was, hey, well, do you think these will fit my car? So you asked me for the address before you even know that they'll fit your car. Another one, hey, can I have your address? Well, it's in this area and this city. Oh, are these, is the price negotiable? So again, you're asking me where the location is before you make other arrangements. So no, typically as a seller, you don't just give your address out as one of the first things that you're going to answer. And I get it. You might want to know, hey, how far away are these from me before I ask other questions? But shouldn't you ask the other questions, like to see if you even want to pay the price that the person's asking for before you figure out if you're going to go that far? All right, a couple of other ones. I'm on my way. And I'm thinking to myself, where? Where are you on your way? We haven't talked price. We haven't talked if they're the right thing for you. You don't know my address. I'm on my way. Now, there was one person that said, hey, you know what? I'm really interested in these. I'd like to come look at them. Yeah, no problem. Come on. I got nothing to hide. Come and look at them. So they come over and they look at them. And there's a conversation that happened before this, by the way, just so you know. Are these, what are the tires? And I say, like the ad says, they're all season tires. I said that twice in our conversation. Okay, and what size are these? Like the title says, they're 15-inch. And will they fit my car? Here's the link to the bolt pattern. Oh, yes, okay. He did it. He did it, I guess. Yeah, oh, yeah, those will fit my car. So then he comes, and he looks at the tires, and he says, oh, these are all season tires. I said, yes, they are. And he says, oh, I didn't realize that. I thought they were winter tires. Well, no, we exchanged texts, and I told you twice. These are all season tires. But the tires aren't the important thing here because I don't care about the tires. It's the rims. Are you interested in the rims? Oh, I don't know. I'm really looking for winter tires. Dude, you had this conversation with me and you came all this way. Then he looks at me and says, well, do you have any winter tires in stock? in stock? I'm like, no. Well, do you have any other winter tires that you're selling? No, I don't have any winter tires that I'm selling. This is what's in the advertisement. Oh, so you don't have any other products? I'm like, I'm not a store. I'm not a retailer. I'm just a guy who posted some winter rims for sale. And he's like, oh, well, if you have any, then let me know. I'm not sure about these. And then he leaves. The complete head slapper on that one, right? There's nothing I could do in that scenario. I can't give them any more information than I have. Oh, anyways, I get it that in the end, a lot of folks with these quick questions, they want somebody to do the work for them. And I'm not here to do the work for them. If you're interested in a product, you see the information, it's fine to ask questions. But if the information's already there, read the ad, read everything that's there. Because now I get the messages, and it's become a social experiment more than anything else now, just to see which way people go. And I might run some statistics in the end just to kind of see how many people ask what type of questions, how many people... But truly in the end, 99% of the folks here have not read the entirety of the advertisement, let alone the title that says, what they are and the size. So, look, a couple of things. I know there's a panic. I know you feel like you're not ready, but that's not anybody else's fault but your own. And then in your panic, it's also nobody else's responsibility to get the answers that you need or may have before you or do the work on your behalf. We have tools. When you have the tools and you have the information, it's your responsibility. All right, that's enough. The ordinary effect: be responsible, get your snow tires, read the ads. Take care, folks. Thanks for listening. Hope you come back next time.